We are live. We're live, Jim.
Hey guys, good morning. It is Friday, November 18th, 2016. I saw my first Lexus Event to Remember. You know that commercial? You always know it's Christmas when that comes on. It's the what is it? It's the December.
It's beginning to look a lot like
No,
Christmas.
the December Event to Remember. That's the only way I know it's good. When you hear that, Christmas is right around the corner, right? It's always that great commercial where the husband comes home and the wife bought a brand new car and somehow got it in the driveway with a ginormous bow on top. And he was utterly surprised and had no idea. Let me tell you what would be involved in my mom pulling something like this off. Well, I already told you it took heaven and earth to get her out to JFK yesterday for her global entry interview. She almost had a heart attack because she thought they were going to ask her all these questions. I was like, Ma, you're not on a terror watch list. You're going to be just fine. Sheila Wolfeld. So, the Lexus December Event to Remember. I used to tweet all the time. It was so warm, and I loved it, and I love this whole season, and I love the winter and the festivities and all of it. And then, 1 year, honestly, I hate to say it, but some jackass rained on my parade and was made some comment about how, of course, it would take a Lexus for you to appreciate the season. No, that's not it at all. It was just symbolic of Christmas season. It could have been anything. It could have been Cheerios or a Jaguar. It doesn't matter. It just meant... Anyway, that was the last time I did that. So I saw that, which meant it was the holiday season upon us. So even though I wanted to wear this, because again, it's going to be 65 degrees in New York, I felt like I should cover up just a little bit and at least wear sleeves for the first 6 minutes of this show. I'll be wearing sleeves. It was already zipped up. We're taking all the clothes off today. It's unbelievable that it is this warm.
It's going to be 40 on
I know. Saturday it's going to be 40. And I heard that for the parade on Thursday, if it gets cold enough, it may even snow.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. It's just going to be just a blast getting Stephanie and the two kids up to Stephanie's brother's house, which is a good 2 hours away, with a little one who loves to throw up in the car. And an older one who likes to point at it and then make loud noises.
What do you do with the car? Have you been detailing the car to clean it up?
So you need to... It's hard for you. Well, no, it's easier for you because your daughter understands. So if you say, look, if you feel like you're going to get sick, try to throw up into a bag. You say that to a 20-month-old and she's like, oh, goo goo, a gaga, there will be no bag. I will throw up wherever and whenever I please. Thank you very much.
Oh, Darren thinks you just bought a new car.
I did not. This is my point. I did not buy a new car. No car. I love the commercial. It doesn't matter that it's Lexus. It means Christmas to me.
Are you saying that when they throw up in the car?
Oh, buy a new car.
Buy a new car when you...
Yeah, okay, that, absolutely.
That's how you do it every day.
So that, yes.
That's basically what I have to go down to.
Okay. I did one of these crazy things last night where I ate a full meal at 10 o'clock last night, which I felt disgusting by. But let me work my way backwards and tell you I hosted a fantastic event. I'm not saying I was fantastic at hosting. I'm saying an event that is fantastic that I hosted. I had seen earlier in the night. Do you watch the John Oliver show, Lance?
I haven't recently, but yeah, I've watched it in the past.
So I sometimes think he's got great perspective on things, and it's...
You do?
I do.
Okay.
But let me tell you why.
He's very funny.
He's very funny.
A little condescending for me.
Sure, but he's usually condescending, but with with good intentions, I guess, if you could say that. Or he tries to have with
good liberal intentions.
He does have liberal intentions, and
right,
which is why I normally
on some level I
humor.
feel like liberals feel it's okay to be condescending.
Maybe. I could see that. I mean, I could agree with you. I could see both sides of it.
Right. No, I mean, I don't think it's okay for anybody.
No, I'm saying I could see both sides that both have been condescending. But last night he did this whole show about Trump's our president, he's going to be our president. So instead of fighting the fact that Trump's our president, these groups that they think that Trump isn't going to support their causes, the environment, climate change, science-based causes, abortion clinics, women's rights, all these things, Planned Parenthood, we need to support those. Instead of anti-Trump, support the causes that are going to need your help more than ever. Right? We couldn't just rely on our laurels, which rely on someone else doing it, rely on Obama pulling through. You could get by doing that. If you don't think you can get by, you are not going to you are going to waste your energy protesting in front of Trump Plaza, whereas you can take all of that energy and maybe a sprinkle of your money or a sprinkle of your time and efforts and put it towards something you really truly care about. So I listened to this, and then I go to this event last night, which is the TAG Awards. It's the Treatment Action Group. It's a think tank. It's science-based AIDS fundraiser, where really it's made up of a group of active, loyal, true caused scientists who really are trying to end this and are, you know, obviously pointing towards science to do this. And they said the same thing, like, we can't do anything about it, so we don't want Trump to squash any of our efforts, so we really need to come together. Anyway, it meant a lot to me, or I understood it, and I sat next to Rosie Perez, who was being honored for all the work she's done. I think she was on one of Obama's teams for AIDS activism. So she came off the stage. I had prepared, let me just tell you, I'm so anal when it comes to these things. Like, they're like, come back and host it. I've hosted it 8 years now. I know exactly who all the players are. It's my like favorite charity of the year to host. I really did not need to do any preparation whatsoever, and yet still went through the entire script. I rewrote, I did my research. Like, it's just how I am. Like, I would much rather be over-prepared than under-prepared, 10 times out of 10 times. And then I was working with comedian Bruce Vilanch, who was also going to be co-hosting with me. He did the opposite. I mean, he can. He's so good at it. He's been in the business for 100 years. He knows absolutely everyone. His best friend is Bette Midler, literally, like Bette Carlton, like that. You know, my best friend is like my friend Marnie, who's amazing, but she's not Bette Midler. Anyway, no preparation, and he's like, is there a script or something? Meanwhile, like, I tattooed my entire script to like my torso. He gets, you know, I get up and I read my jokes that were perfectly placed, and each word was in the right with the inflection, and it was rehearsed, and I landed my punch. He got up with nothing, and he like did a stand-up comedy. And he was great, and it's the difference. But I thought we both did a pretty good job. Anyway, came down, introduced Rosie Perez. She does her whole big thing. She comes down, and I wanted to, you know, I wanted to congratulate her. I thought it was a really great speech. So we've all been in this position. I went over to congratulate her, and you know, I went. She saw what I was about to do, so I shake my hand out, but at the exact same time that I put my hand to shake, she comes in with the shoulder as if it was going to be a hug. And so what do? Quickly pull the hand back. Now you throw yourself into the hug, because who knew that Rosie and I were on like a hug-to-hug thing? So I went, you know, it was this, then it was this, but then when she saw my hand go out, I pulled it back while she put her hand up while my shoulder was coming in. Do you see what was happening there? Hand to shoulder, and then shoulder to hand, and the next thing you know, fell into the couch right next to her. There was nothing else I could do. She pulled the hand back while I was going into hug, or she pulled herself back while I was going into hug, and I don't want to say like I tripped and things went flying, but I ended up sitting right next to her, and I gave her this weird handshake of a hug, and I just said what it was. I was like, this is awkward. This is awkward. I feel like we should high five or kiss, one of the two. And she's like, yes to either would be fine with me. And I said, thank you. This is generally how things like this go for me. So thank you very much. I think she was thinking to herself, please leave. It's time for you to not be sitting next to me anymore. Earlier,
Nebraska says she fell on them and they were real and spectacular.
They were spectacular. They're real. And they're spectacular. I'm going to start undressing now, because at this point I'm dying from the story. I made a joke earlier in the evening, because she was sitting at a table just like right next to me, a tiny table, like a coffee table. And it was her, and it was the very famous playwright Terrence McNally, and his partner, who just did some amazing play that I can't think of now, and a few other notables, I will say. And then at our little table, and I say the table is like this wide by that thick. Right next to it.
Just so you know, we have the.
I know, I'm out of it.
We now have the zoom shot.
Okay, so I would say, let me see. Is that a foot? Would you say that's a foot?
Yeah, but I don't know.
No, but I'm going to tell you as soon as I know if this is a foot. One. Yeah. Whatever, it's this. So it was about 3 feet by like 2 feet. I don't know, 4 feet by 2 feet, whatever it was. Nothing. My table is like right next to hers. Her table, Rosie Perez, Terrence McNally, all these like famous people. My table, what happened?
John's asking for the wingspan thing again because your arms look great.
This?
Yeah.
That's what you want, John?
That's what John wanted.
Perfect. My table, it's me and Bruce. Bruce Vilanch and me. Google Bruce. Once you see his face, you're going to know exactly who he is. You can't miss this guy.
What's his last name?
Valanche. Vilanch. He was on Hollywood Squares. He was on a million things. He's done tons of Broadway. As accomplished as it comes. Yeah, you know that guy.
All of these guys are talking about how you're going to kick their ass.
I can kick whose ass?
Whoever these guys are.
Oh. Nice. Anyway, so they, you know, the wait staff tripping over themselves to help her. I mean, they couldn't put enough. No one had appetizers at this event. You know, the people that walk around, nobody had them. Why? Because they were all coming and putting them on her table. Now, I don't know if they just wanted to be near her or what, and I would want to be too. She must have had on this small table easily 12 to 15 platters of food. Did not touch a thing, nothing. But they kept bringing over more food. It was like a scene at a National Lampoon's European Vacation. They kept putting it out. Now, me and Bruce, hungry, perfectly willing to eat, nothing. Not one thing. I got 3 olives in my club soda and it was sitting on my table. That's all. That's it. So her table, 27 platters, everyone else, 200 people there, nothing to eat because all the food was on Rosie Perez's table and mine nothing. So I figured, this is the joke right here. Here's the joke. This is my in. I'm going in for Rosie. This is obviously all before the handshake. So I was like, I had to get her attention, and then once you get attention, then you have to go right in with the joke. So I was like, you know, it's so... She didn't look at me. So then I was like, I'm just going to stop. All the people around her heard, but I'm like, it didn't take. So I'm just going to wait. I wait a few seconds. You know, it's really funny that you... No, didn't take either. It's okay. It's all right. It's all good. I pretend no one can see me. I'm like looking away. And that felt like the third time I had to just go with it. And I was like, it's really funny. Like, you're not even eating all those apps, and look how many apps you don't have any apps. So many apps. We don't have any apps. Oh, just shoot me. Like, what was that? Like, didn't laugh. The whole thing died. And then, of course, I followed that up with sitting in her lap, basically, to give her a handshake. The only other memorable thing of the evening was I wrote a whole thing because Lee Daniels from Empire was being honored, and I wrote a whole thing about Empire and all of it, and somehow mixed AIDS and Black Lives Matter, and I made a really nice, poignant thought.
What was your poignant thought?
It was just that it doesn't matter like how self-righteous you are about your cause, and this year's just been a tough year for a lot of different groups, and it didn't help matters that you have someone where a lot of people think that you're not going to get much help from, and blah blah blah. And we all have to stand up, and we can't have our own causes separately. Like, we have to really come together, and it sounded much better with words rather than here in the blazing sun. Anyway, get up there. I'm waiting for him to get up, and I follow him with this whole big nice thing. Blah, blah, blah. I want to say, congratulations to Daniel Lee. And this Asian guy gets up to the podium. I look at the thing and I go, wait a minute. That's not Lee Daniels. I don't understand it. And I looked and I said to Bruce, I go, that's not the guy from Empire. He's like, no, that's Daniel Lee from Levi's. And I'm looking at my thing, I'm like, oh, I wrote a whole thing on Lee Daniels, and that was Daniel Lee. I'm screwed. That was all my copy. And then the last line was, but let's please introduce and give a warm welcome to the next person. But 27 sentences before that was all about Lee Daniels, which was going to be lost on everyone because it was Daniel Lee. Because I'm a moron and didn't read through, even though I did copious research.
It's probably your producer on the show's fault.
That was all me.
No, I think it was probably...
No. So the best way to handle it was to get up and tell everybody that story. So I got up and I told everybody that story, and they loved me for it. And one of the executive producers of Law & Order SVU is there. And he came up to me afterwards, and he's like, you're very engaging, people love to watch, it's great, and blah, 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 thank you. And I basically begged him to put me back in his show. I said that it would be best if you did that, because it's not safe for me to be out here not on a show. It's just not safe. I don't know what I'm doing or where I'm going, so please put me on your show. It all leads to the fact that I got home around 9 o'clock. Stephanie also got home around 9 o'clock from work. We ordered food. We were dying of hunger. I'm just going to tell you what we ordered. Still on the diet. I ordered a bison burger because I was told yesterday that I was not eating enough protein. I ordered a very well done bison burger wrapped in collard greens with avocado, lettuce, tomato, broccoli, sprouts, like as many vegetables as I could pack into.
Burger King is making that?
Yeah. Bear Burger. And it came at like 10:15. Now what do? You're starving. The burger looks fantastic, as good as it could look wrapped in collard greens, smushed together like this. What are you going to not eat it? Well, Steph didn't even... I at least had the conversation with myself. Steph was already halfway through by the time I was like, I came to a conclusion. And plus, she got French fries. I said, "You're gonna eat it. It's good for you." Ate the whole thing. Felt awful, gross. I get into bed. I was like, I don't feel so good. Steph's like, I don't feel so good. I'm like, I just feel like, ugh, I ate too much. She's like, I feel like I ate too much. I'm like, we're talking about me. Can we talk about me for 1 second? She goes, okay. I was like, all right, well, that's it. She goes, okay, well, I don't feel like I think I feel gross. I'm like, ah! Anyway, that was it. Ate late, feel gross, not going to do it again. So all you guys that want to indulge, remember that feeling. You have to hate that feeling more than you love the satisfaction of loving the food that you eat. Do you understand what that means? You have to hate that feeling more than you love the taste of the food that you want to cheat on. Until you do, you are not going to stop.
Can you review that
the
one more
cheat
time?
foods.
I'm not.
Right? So when you wake up in the morning after eating really crappy food the night before, you feel disgusting, right? Or 5 minutes after you eat like something gross, you feel gross. You have to hate that feeling more than you love the feeling of having the food in your mouth.
Right, because of this concocted diet. Last night I was at my son's basketball
If you're
game.
going to tell me you ate healthy, I'm going to throw this camera at you. You did,
So I
didn't
couldn't. There was no food there.
Jealous.
There was no food there, and so they had those Kind bars that you bought me that time.
Yeah.
So I found 5 of those. I ate 5 of those. By the time I got home, I was famished. It was like midnight.
Yeah.
I was just like, I am so hungry.
What'd you eat?
I just made myself some eggs and potatoes.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I needed something.
But isn't it funny how...
There's nothing about this diet that's funny, John. At this point,
look,
I'm like
right, but look
protein
how
starved.
interesting this is, right? You love M&Ms. You're
Right.
a guy that loves M&Ms, right?
Yeah.
Admitted? Because
And
of
ice
this
cream, as Darren has
diet,
pointed
and
out.
ice cream, because of this diet, like, as starving as desperate you were like, well, I can't have it because I'm on the diet, so I'll just eat this, right?
Well, I kept kosher for 40 years, so this
Right,
is
but
like...
no one put a gun to your head. No one's saying your children get hurt if you don't stick to it. It was just something arbitrary. We picked this diet, we did it, we stuck to it. So why can't we have this restraint all the time? Right? Why can't we always have that restraint? Like, you had this restraint. Like, you easily could have eaten anything. I could have eaten anything last night, but I didn't. I chose
Right.
to stay on the diet because of what?
Our teamwork.
Is that what it is? So let's figure
I would
out what
I would have
it
been
is.
embarrassed to come in today. Like, are you kidding? Like, I've been on it for...
So you were
20
shamed. You right. I would be shamed to come
Like, I
in
mean,
too
it's
and say
like
I
not
broke it.
shamed. It's like we're a team.
Yeah,
like we're
we're a
doing
team.
it. Like it's we're doing it or we're not doing it.
Yeah, you're in, you're out.
So
Right?
I'm in.
I love it.
I'm all in. Like I feel good. No, I feel good about it. I happen to be like the last few days I've been feeling a little weak just from the I think the lack of protein. Like I'm just not.
Tell everybody, yesterday you had some low energy and I had an issue with it, so tell everybody what I texted you this morning.
Oh, you told me that. I'll try to read it to everybody. It was a nice.
Read the exact words.
It was a nice text. Please, 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 please eat a gigantic breakfast today before the show. And if you don't have time, I am ordering you an omelet. Let me know what you want.
Thank you. How nice was that?
You're the sweetest.
I'm the sweetest. I was fully
You
prepared.
care about me off.
Yesterday you literally slept through the last hour of the show. Like I looked over and you were in the
That
fetal
wasn't me
position, curled
sleeping
up.
through the last hour of the show.
Oh, that was you engaged?
I was watching the show. It was you and Jasmine.
Yeah.
I was actually pointing out during the show that I didn't think, that I thought that some of the that there was sex occurring, that the cat calls happened during the
Obama administration.
Obama administration
That was
also.
very funny. That was actually a very funny line. That was a very funny line.
John is actually saying they did hear me snoring during the show.
Yeah, I know, because I saw it, John. I saw him snoring.
I was
heard
me
it,
just
I
trying to
saw
stay
it.
warm. It was actually very cold here.
It is going to be brutal today.
In that spot.
And meanwhile, it's snowing in like Minnesota today.
Minnesota, yeah.
That's amazing. I love it. I love the snow.
But it's sunny in Florida.
Always. And it's sunny in Philadelphia.
So, all right. Want to get some comments? Or?
Yeah, I'd love to hear.
All right.
Good morning, Connor.
Good morning.
How was your day yesterday?
It's good.
Connor went to the gym last night.
Yeah.
Threw a few comments out at me. I loved it. I loved hearing from him. Made me feel good that one of us was working out yesterday, although I worked out in the morning. Very nice. I'm lifting tonight.
Okay. Good.
Pure lift.
I always do afternoon or night.
Gotcha.
I'm picking up Booba tonight.
Literally?
No, just in my car. I'm going to try to get her not to throw up.
Okay, try not to give her a vanilla frappe before you.
Oh, that's the last time she has that vanilla frappe.
If she wants any more of it, she could just suck some of your car furniture.
Right, yeah.
I'm going through this bag.
Darren wants to know if we're putting the billboard up on that wall yet.
We should, you guys.
Behind us. Yeah.
I'm listening. I'm all
I
on
actually
board.
had a good meeting for the future of the show today, but I'll talk to you about it.
Yeah?
Offline.
Like the future of the show being a show?
Future of the show. Like an interesting twist. Barb Best Right
Yeah.
said half tea. I don't know. Brian O'Neill says, good morning, how are you?
I'm
Barbara
better now
Stark
that
says,
I'm
love
sorry
your,
that I started with gum. That was terrible.
love
It's
your
real.
show.
Thank you.
Sanziana Casanciano says, good morning.
Good morning, Casanziana. Remember that great line from Fish Called Wanda? Look here, Mr. Madden Friend Jensen. My father was in the... Remember when he made that name up? Sorry, go on.
Patty Sanderson Cattell says, I'm doing the 30-day plan with a group of friends. Wondering if you are restricting food on this plan.
No, I'm not. I'm not restricting food. I actually don't want you to be hungry. But if you're going to tell me that you're starving but you don't want vegetables, then you're not really hungry. And that's the bottom line.
John is actually having an issue. It feels like I'm throwing him under the bus or something. Sherry, John, and Darren, the three of them are coming in together all the time.
Nice,
Like
guys.
a nice little clan there. Barbara Stark says, no snow on Thanksgiving, please. Marvin Kirschenbaum says, please don't say that four-letter word again, snow. It's too soon for that.
Is it?
Jürgen Beck, is that a relation? Jürgen?
No, not that I know.
Sounds like fun. I don't know what he's referring to. Jesse Vasquez says, good morning, sunshine. Scott Halwarda says, good morning, Jenny. You are so fun. Good morning, Wolfie. You are so fun.
Thank you.
Lisa Lecusi says, channeling Jenna today, sitting on a sunny deck in Maine. How good is that we're like associated with sun? Are you?
It's good. It's good.
You have Arcadia.
I'm wearing a tank top. Lance is wearing literally 1, 2, how many layers are you wearing?
3.
1, 2, 3 layers, and they're like sweatshirts and hoodies. And we're 3 feet away from each other. Are you sick? Do you not feel well?
I don't think I'm sick. I didn't feel well last night after. Like I got home, I didn't feel well from I felt like it was my lack of food.
Well, I don't want you to get sick over this.
Yeah, no. Like if it was the beginning of the diet, I'd be having issues. But I'm very much looking forward to next week.
End. Yeah.
Oh, so I'm sorry. I didn't mean to offend anyone by saying that you were a clan. I didn't mean the clan with a K. So they're the three amigos. Daphne Charlton Lansborough says, hi Jenna, love your show. You are a very positive person, very
Thank you.
uplifting. John says that they were joking, Lancelot. I'm sorry, John. I was just like, go back and forth between, I'm sorry I'm so literal. I read. I'm sorry. Cindy Montgomery Childs says, good morning from Pensacola.
Good morning, Sydney.
John Scorwira says, 60-year-old trainer. Hi, Jenna.
Hi, how are you?
Nebraska. Darren, I don't know what I ignored. I just missed it. I was looking at the Facebook camera. Marvin Kirschenbaum says, Fakakta. What's the proper spelling? Fakakta is spelled F-A-K-A-T-A. Fakakta. It's Yiddish. Carla Nicholson says, good morning, Jenna from Port St. Lucie. Love watching your show during my lunch break.
Hey, Carla.
Why did you drop the LD from your last name?
I didn't. When I was in Philadelphia, the news director there thought that my name sounded a little difficult to pronounce, a little ethnic, a little Jewishy. They thought Jenna Wolf was punchier than Jennifer Wolfelt as a sportscaster, so I went with it.
How many people in Philadelphia would be associating Wolfeld with Jews? I mean, like...
Seinfeld.
Barb Best Right says, hi from Chile, Iowa. Barb is asking where we're walking today.
We're going to head over to Trump Towers, see what's going on over there. I'm not getting into the fray. I'm just going to, from the outskirts, fringe.
I scoped it out this morning.
And?
It's interesting what's going on there.
Okay, well, we're going to be on the outside looking in.
Yes. John wants us to interview the Donald. I don't know if we're going to interview the Donald, but, you know, what's his name is up for Secretary of State, they're saying now.
Everyone is.
Mitt Romney.
I think that might be, from what I read this morning, a way to temper and cool off. So it's a good name to float out there so he can get some time to figure out what he wants to do. But we'll see.
Leslie.
I'm really casually dressed today. I honestly thought we were just walking for like a million hours. So before we go out, I may run down and just throw a little jacket on. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be so it's not that, please don't let this be a reflection of what I think of the show. I was just under the impression we were going to be walking all over the place. And it's really warm up here, but I had a jacket for street level. All right, go on.
Divine Girl says that you need to get the Donald on a workout program.
I just need to get the Donald in front of me so I could ask him some questions.
What questions would you ask the Donald?
Well, let's go through the comments first, because otherwise we miss out on people.
Okay.
This is ridiculous.
What's your favorite, this is from Leslie Clark, what's your favorite thing about being married to Stephanie?
No, there's nothing my favorite thing about marriage to her. Like, marriage I don't care about. That's just a piece of paper. My favorite thing about being with Stephanie is she's just young at heart and fun and athletic and fearless and strong and daring and adventurous, and those are all the things that you would want in someone as they get older. A lot of people lose that, and she hasn't, and she shows no signs of it.
John is asking, in all seriousness, who is the most famous person we can get on the show? I would say probably... Who's the most famous person we can get on the show?
Your contacts are deeper than mine.
I would say that the most famous person we can... Who's the most famous person in the world, John?
Pope.
I don't think we can get the Pope. Who's the second most famous person?
It's hard for me to hear you.
Who's the second most famous person?
Are you talking to me or John?
You.
Probably Donald.
You think the Donald right now?
It's probably the second best chance.
I bet you the Donald right now is pretty high up there.
first.
Or like, yeah, I was gonna say, like if it was 5 years ago, I'd say like,
Yeah.
Barack.
But he's got like 100% name recognition.
no, I was gonna say Justin Bieber. I think it's Donald Trump right now.
I think we would have a shot at the Donald.
I think Lance could.
Well, we'll see. Do you want to do? Did you want to
He
go?
knows me. Why don't you just tell him?
I will. I'll see if he's doing it. I'll put our name. You never know. He would reach out to a I think this would be a good audience for him to reach out to.
Like this. It's different.
It's different. We could even bring the show to him, so we could bring it to Trump Tower. We could
Sure.
we could have his high quality filming
Lance is
experience.
actually good friends with one of Trump's very good friends. Does that make sense? I won't name names, but you should reach out to your friend.
Well, we've actually broadcasted from Anthony's office. I mean, Anthony's on the transition team, so
I like
that
this
would be the
question.
most famous person. So next, Lenny Toby says, I tried Rex the other day
And?
it was great.
Right? Lenny! It's good to see you, babes. Good to have you on board. Told you.
Darren wants us to get Newman on the show.
Newman.
We should. I mean, if we're gonna do later today, we're gonna do the TV brackets, guys. So get ready.
With
Get your favorite TV show.
TV shows. Like we did with the movies, we're going to do with TV shows.
Right, and but we're actually going to fill in the brackets today. We're going to rank them and everything. It's going to be a little
And
bit of a
not all
deeper.
from the 60s, please. Lance.
No, I think that there's. Sherry wants your dad to come on the show. When is your dad coming on?
Yes, if you tell me why.
Why? Because he's your dad.
Because
He probably has good insight.
Let me tell you a story. I was once in my office at the Today Show, and I was having a TV put up in my office, and the gentleman that was putting up the TV turns around and he says, I hate to bother you, but I really just want to tell you, like, I think the world of your dad. I was like, you do? He's like, yeah, I think your dad is awesome, and I think he raised an amazing daughter, and I just want to tell you that I don't usually like to talk to anyone when I'm doing my work, but I'm just going to tell you I really, really respect your dad. I was like, wow, thank you. Like, how do you know my dad? He's like, well, just because him being on TV. And I was like, oh my God. And my dad we did a whole thing with man caves. I'm like, that is super, super nice of you. So as he was finishing up, I was like, thank you again. He goes, of course. And then he leaves and he pops his head back in and he goes, go Bush. And then he walks away. I'm like, oh, he thinks I'm Jenna Bush, not Jenna Wolf. And this whole thing was about George Bush and not Bennett Wolf. And I would never have known. I would have gone home and be like, Dad, someone's your big fan from that little thing on the man caves you did. As opposed to, say, my friend, Jenna Bush, whose father was, the President of the United States of America. So when someone says, "I'd like to meet your dad," that's why I always say why, because I want to make sure that they know why my dad is not George W. Bush. Okay, go on.
I thought your dad was a Warner Wolf.
My dad is not Warner Wolf either.
Oh. Okay, Moira Colacoda says, how goes it?
Goes well.
Sherry Stretch says, you're much better than her.
Thank you.
And
Did my mom say anything? Or Marty?
She was not here, no. I'm beginning to think that today Facebook had a sharing issue because not as many people are here as normal.
Maybe they're just not watching.
No, and they normally...
Maybe this big experiment isn't working.
At least it's working on Periscope.
It is?
Yeah.
All right, ask me anything, guys, then. Go. Any question. Anything.
Any question, or we can go for a walk?
Or do you want to do the brackets first?
Let's do a walk and then the brackets. That's how we set it up. Okay, I want to do the... we're introducing our YouTube feed today.
Okay.
So Connor's going to set that up while we go do the walk.
Okay. Did you come more prepared than yesterday with ample charge?
No.
So what happens when the phones die? We're just screwed. You know who would have come with ample feeds and ample battery charge?
The producer.
Real producer.
I have my 4 phones.
Okay.
We'll be fine.
All right. I'm a little concerned that no one else is on Facebook. Or maybe you can interact and stop just reading the phone. Maybe you could talk to me or say something.
What
anything.
sports does Jenna play? I'm waiting for the questions. What sports do you play?
Everything. Now in high school, like, what kind of sports? Like
Well, you
today?
played volleyball in college.
Softball, basketball, racquetball, soccer.
What's your favorite sport
To play or to watch?
to watch?
Football,
What's your favorite sport to play?
volleyball.
Who's your favorite athlete of all time?
Male or female?
Who's your favorite athlete of all time?
John McEnroe.
Why?
Played with fire every time out, good or bad. Never mailed it in, ever.
What did you like most about him? The fact that his intensity?
What?
His intensity?
McEnroe?
Yeah.
100%. I mean, if ever there was a candidate for sports therapy, sports psychology, it would have been him, but loved the intensity. Just a colorful guy. He was good.
He was really good.
Yeah.
When did you see him play? Was he...
I mean, towards the end of his career.
You didn't see him like in the...
I mean, I probably saw some, like, McEnroe-Vilander matches, McEnroe-Connor matches.
McEnroe, do you see Borg play?
Yeah. Yeah, loved Bjorn Borg.
That was a big time in tennis. Like, that was...
But that was the very... And then I was mostly, like, Boris Becker was probably the beginning, the end of McEnroe, the very beginning of, like, Sampras and Gordon Ivanisevic, all those guys.
Somebody's asking if the majority of New Yorkers like Clinton. Yes, that's like that was the thing.
That
It's
is
like,
an unequivocal yes.
right, 70%. She won like 60 to 70%, right? Which current tennis player would you like to coach? That's from Divine Girl 5.
About coaching. Which former tennis player?
Which current tennis player?
Oh. The problem is I don't know. Because there aren't such a small American contingency right now. I don't know.
Do you know a single American tennis player?
Not female, no.
Yes, you do. You're gonna know 2 sisters.
I mean, besides the Williams sisters, yes, but they're in a different bracket. Like, I don't want to coach the Williams sisters. They cross over. Like, I would want to coach someone that is so focused on tennis that they live, eat, and breathe it. Now, the Williams sisters don't need as much coaching as they need, like, a little more, guidance and focus to stay on track. But
How focused was McEnroe?
So McEnroe would get in his own way, and I think that's what John McEnroe's problem was, is that he probably could have played even better than he had played if he didn't get in his own way all the time. But that's also what I loved about him. He was so intense. Like, I think the opposite of John McEnroe is Tim Duncan. You know who Tim Duncan is?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, he's a nice guy. He's a good basketball player. He's, was really kind and sweet. He was a nice guy. But I would never turn on a game to watch Tim Duncan play. Now, Tim Duncan played, I want to say, or maybe he didn't play. Remember, not the Jason Williams that was accused of murdering that limo driver for the Nets, but there was another Jay Williams.
Yeah, sure.
Short guy. Fantastic. I think he played in Florida, right? Came out of college in Florida.
Yep.
Now, yes, he was a little McEnroe-esque, a little into himself, but I could watch, I want to say he played for maybe Sacramento, like some team I would never normally watch. I could watch games all day, every day, just watching him go up and down the court. I just loved watching him play. Loved watching McEnroe play. Loved when he got upset. Like, loved the fire in his belly. Like, I loved all of that.
You found Duncan's stoicism was a turnoff.
I found his gentle personality a turnoff.
Right, but he's like one of the best players ever.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me. That's not what makes me. I mean, if you're saying who do I think is the most successful player, that's a different question than who my favorite player is.
Got it. And then the question was, who would you want to coach? So we still didn't. What about all time in any sport? Who's the one athlete you would want to coach? Get them into fitness.
I would love to coach like. Like a Gabrielle Reese, like super intense. I mean, yeah, I'd also like to date her, but besides that, no, I'm just thinking of people who are like intense and love their sport and love fitness. Who else?
So you have Gabby Reese
Steph
on the
Curry.
mind.
Really, really athletic.
Now, isn't Steph Curry's personality though a lot like Tim Duncan's?
Yes, it's a lot like Tim Duncan's, but that's a different question. You asked me who I'd like to coach.
Would you want to coach Tim Duncan?
McEnroe. Never. I couldn't get through to him. I would coach Tim Duncan. These are all different questions and for specific reasons. I don't mail in answers, ever. That's why I said ask me anything.
Okay. Have you ever done a trifecta? Actually, Darren was asking for your bank account number, and John wanted your ABA number. So,
perfect. I'll text that to you, along with my soch.
Okay. Do you still work with Lester and Sharon?
No.
You think of under-desk stepper?
What?
An under-desk stepper? Is there an under-desk stepper?
Oh, yeah,
I'm
there
very
is.
tied to my desk while working.
Listen, if you're tied to your desk all day, then every 20 minutes set your alarm and walk around for 5 minutes, or every 20 minutes set your alarm, stand up, and drop down and pick up 20 paper clips all day, every 20 minutes. Do it. You'll end up doing easily like 500 squats a day. You'll see how many calories you burn. Plus, your body doesn't want to sit like this all day. It's not good for you. It's not good for your neck, your back, your spine, anything. Or get up and walk to the water cooler and back 5 times. But just make sure you constantly move. And under desk stepper, sure, it goes like this. But you can also, every 20 minutes, do this 100 times. Feel what you're doing to your abs by doing this. You're totally engaging your abs. You could literally do anything. If you do nothing, it's just an excuse. Well, I was at my desk all day. Look, I stayed in shape while I was at my desk all day.
John is accusing me of being too literal on one post, and then he's saying that he didn't say that he wanted your ABA number. He just said the account number was worthless without the ABA number. So
okay.
I just want to make sure I'm not continuing to offend John over here.
That makes more sense. Thank you.
Yes, I'm sorry, John. I misread and I paraphrased. Excuse me. So, have you ever done a trifecta?
Of Spartan? No.
What is the trifecta?
It's like the Sprint, the Beast, and the Ultra Beast, if they're referring to Spartan. It's like the 6-mile Spartan, the 10-mile Spartan, and then I think the 13 or 25-mile Spartan. I just have a bad knee. I can't run more than like 6 miles. So I could do all the obstacles, but I wouldn't be able to do the run.
Okay. Somebody's asking, actually, do you know Holly Rillinger, a Nike master trainer, famous personal trainer in New York City?
I do.
Somebody was asking, what kind of exercises can you do for non-weight bearing?
Who asked me about Holly? That's random. Was it Holly?
No, it was some guy. I don't want to actually say his name because it's like an N curse. What about Do you only do Spartans or other mud runs?
I've done a Tough Mudder and I did a Warrior Dash.
This person and Slick knows Holly personal.
Yeah, I hung out with Holly for a little bit. She's really amazingly athletic, so talented, so strong, incredible body, really focused. She's cool.
John wants to know, do you know somebody named Jillian Michaels?
Do I what now?
Do you know somebody named Jillian Michaels?
I do.
And Slick says she does flywheel.
Okay, thank you.
I don't know.
That's good. That was good to know.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I was wondering if Jillian does flywheel.
No,
Now
that
I
was
know.
actually Holly, I think.
Oh, Holly does flywheel.
Holly does flywheel.
Gotcha.
Jillian, I don't know.
Just do I know her? Yes.
John is
I've done a lot of
asking
these.
if you've met.
Yeah, I've interviewed Jillian a bunch of times. And then I did a radio show on Sirius, and I had Jillian on the radio show.
Oh, cool. Okay, you must have had a better booker.
I had a real booker.
Yeah. Oh, you're not.
You know how I know? Like, everybody knew all the guests, as opposed to some people knew one or two of the guests. Even though all the guests are amazing in their own right. You're going to...
So who was your real booker?
Matt Ianni.
All right, let's hook him up.
Somebody's jealous.
What's your favorite workout from Daphne?
From what?
Daphne Lansborough wants to know what your favorite workout is.
Right now, I really love the class Fitting Room, FHITTING. It's a boutique fitness class here in town. It's really intense and really fun. It mixes all kinds of fun toys and tools. If I'm on my own, I do pyramids, just to keep things busy, or some, boot campy type things.
Gotcha. Carol Foster Mosley said she watched the show last night, loved the singers in the show. Do you have to help cook on Thanksgiving?
Everyone knows that I can't cook, and if I was going to help cook on Thanksgiving, then we had bigger problems. So I make sure the kids are dressed and that we get there okay. And I'm really good at getting people a beer, or can I get you something? Can I get you something? Can I help make your plate? Can I get you something? That's where I come in. Can I get
So
you
you're
some
the
cheese and
facilitator.
crackers?
So who's
Yeah,
cooking?
although Stephanie's sister-in-law, Stephanie's
doing the
mom.
turkey?
The turkey is Stephanie's brother. Stephanie's brother is actually on the transition team. I can't say with what company. I don't know if I'm allowed to or not. He works for a company, and he's in Washington right now working.
Cool.
Yeah.
Tony Kendall, just an idea. Of course I watch this show and listen to the Jillian Michaels Show podcast. How about have Jillian Michaels on the show and then have Jenna be on the Jillian Michaels Show podcast?
There you go, but that would require someone booking her, so I guess that's where we're at a standstill. Well, Lance and I are wearing the same shoes today. What do you think it means? We're all wearing the same exact shoes, but 3 different companies. Adidas, Puma, and Nike. That's really funny.
I think it means I was the only one married to Alicia.
Why, she only does Adidas?
Yeah. Rebecca McLean says, you need a producer, LOL. Thanks a lot.
Yep.
This is not exactly
Hey,
Lance
listen, if you
Lafer's
can
finest
go
hour
out
here.
and if we go out and boom, knock it out of the park, then you won't have to worry about booking ever again. People will flock to us. We won't have to book them.
Right, well, so far.
But maybe we need to book the big ones so that we can knock it out of the park. What?
Just stay tuned.
Connor, help me. Should I do an athletic thing with Connor?
Oh, yeah, let's do that.
Should we do something?
Yeah.
You feeling good?
Yeah. We're not doing a show on Thanksgiving, Tony.
I don't think we're doing a show Thursday or Friday,
Or
right?
Friday, right. There's no Thursday or Friday. I'm going to be concentrating on booking for the following month during those 8 hours. Now, the booker, was he on the show also?
I'm afraid to tell you. You're going to get all mad at me.
Was he on the show for 4 hours?
He was my producer.
The booker was your producer?
Yeah, Matt was the producer. There's only 2 people in the radio booth.
How
There's
long
a
was the
talent
show
person.
for?
It was only 2 hours.
And how many days a week?
It was 1 day a week.
Okay, so...
I was happy doing this 1 day a week. You insisted on 4 hours, 5 days.
I know.
Well, you got to come through. I'm giving you stamina, baby. I'm giving you everything I got. Ow, I hurt my shoulder doing that. I'm never going to make a point again.
Ball don't lie, as they
Yeah,
say.
really. I made a really tough point there. I think I tore my rotator cuff yelling at Lance. I'm going to give you something crazy right now.
I'm
You're
like
ready?
a ninja, you realize, right?
You what?
I'm like a ninja.
I know. Listen, when you're ready, we're going to do something insane with you.
John wants more Jasmine Loeb.
Yeah, Jasmine was I like Jasmine earlier in the show. I think Jasmine is like crazy alive and willing to throw the P word and the C word and the F word and the V word around.
We like it better when she's throwing the C word around than the
I
Clinton
don't
word around.
necessarily love that word. I'll take the other words.
Okay,
but
the P word around.
yes. It's a little earlier in the broadcast than a little bit later. The 2 o'clock, I feel bad for our 2 o'clock guest. The sun creeps behind that building over there.
Yeah.
It's really cold. Lance and I are freaking famished, like literally gnawing at our arm. Oh my God, I gotta tell you something funny last night. So, I don't generally know who the guests are, or the honorees are, but I introduce people who, I introduce X, and X brings out Rosie Perez. I introduce Y brings out this person, right? That's what the host does. So what do? Instead of just taking the copy that they give me, I go out and I look at their Twitter page, their Instagram, their Facebook. I get some extra information. So one of the people I was introducing, I'm not going to say any names because the chances of her watching are literally zero. I found all this crazy stuff she does with photography, and I get up on stage and I'm like, and this person, and she does this with this, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, what the hell is that? I don't even know, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm going on, and I'm funny, and I'm making fun of myself, not understanding, but she's on the board, and ladies and gentlemen, let's bring her up. She walks with her head down. And so I say, with the microphone and, in earshot, I say, oh, I hope you know, I thought you were going to be laughing. All of this I was making fun of myself. It's what I did. I was just joking. Meant like I don't know anything about what you're so good that I don't even, nothing. And I go, oh no, I'd love you to laugh. She goes, well, I'm not laughing. And I was like, okay, I'm really sorry. I don't know. So she gets up and I walk downstairs I walk down the thing and I stand next to my friend and he goes, oh, her friend just died. I'm like, hello? Can somebody, that's what you need a producer for. To be like, listen, you need to tone it down just a little bit. Do not make fun of her in any way, shape, or form. And then on top of her friend passing, from what he told me, the audio AV guy was nowhere to be found. And she had a whole video that was supposed to be played. And instead of just rolling with the punches, she waited about 8 minutes in silence on stage waiting for the guy to get back. And I was like, 8 minutes. So that was fun. Another example of me putting my foot in my mouth. Okay, let's keep moving on.
Shanna Linocan says, I am across the river in New Jersey and I agree that's kind of warm, but no sleeves.
Is that a question?
That
Because
was-
there are
yeah.
actually no sleeves.
Right. Actually, Jeff Sessions was just appointed Attorney General.
Yeah, this morning. Who was
Cool.
going it to be? Wasn't it going to be Rudy
No, they're talking about Rudy.
as Secretary of State?
Yeah, potentially, but I think he's not gonna. I don't think they're gonna.
Can you believe after all this, if he doesn't get billed as anything? Well, look at Christie. Christie sold his soul to make sure that he could be the only one rooting for Trump this entire time, and he's on the outside looking in. He's been ousted from the community.
He's. I don't know. Yeah. All right. I don't know. Chris
hell was that?
Christie. Chris. I don't have a comment on Chris Christie. You like Chris Christie, right?
I did. I thought he was the most moderate of the least moderate.
So I'm going to leave that there. I'm going to let Chris Christie hang. I have no comment on Chris Christie.
You obviously know him because the
I
last
don't
time I
know
brought
him.
him up, you had some weird comment about him too.
I'll watch his name. John says,
Something going on there, right?
until he shut down the bridge.
Yeah, that was really shitty. But you know what? Hillary did really shitty things, and so did Donald Trump, and so did half a dozen other people. They've all done really shitty things. It is a seedy, sometimes awful, ugly business, politics, and no one is in the clear. Not Hillary, not Donald, not Chris Christie, not Rudy Giuliani. Everyone, not Sarah Palin. They've all got their. The Democrats and the Republicans. Anthony Weiner was a Democrat. Look what he
Everybody's
did.
saying that you need to throw your hat in the ring.
I could never be president. What are you talking about? What do I know?
You know people.
Not enough to get him on the show, but some people.
No, you know people. Not
Oh, I get people.
you get people. Is what
Yeah.
I mean.
It's because, you know what? I grew up in the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere. I moved to one of the most affluent communities in New York, 5 minutes from the Clintons. I was fully bullied in high school. I had every kind of after school special bad thing, like the acne and the bad hair and the braces and all of it. Then I grew into myself, and then I went on TV with no one in the business. Like, it was like the, you know, I think I kind of played the gamut of scenarios and ended up here. So I get people. I think.
Do you like people?
Love people.
So.
I don't have that much patience. But if I
Really?
Yeah.
How much patience do you have?
I mean, how do you quantify that? Like 1 out of 10? I'd say like a 6.
You're a 6 on the patience scale?
I'd say like a 4. More like
A 4.
I'd say probably like a 3.5, 2, 3.5. Like a high 1.
I mean, you obviously have a lot of patience for your producer.
People don't see this, but can I show you what I'm looking at right now? This is what I'm looking at right now.
No.
Just so you guys know. Just watch. Just watch. This is what I'm getting right now. Oh, look at that. I am wearing short sleeves.
Okay, but look at that.
You want me to...
I just shared your thing on this thing called Twitter.
Listen, I feel bad that I'm wearing this tank top. Not bad, but I would have put a nicer tank top on if I was going to wear a tank top. I really, truly thought that we were walking around outside and I was going to wear...
So we're about to walk. Should we take the show on the road?
Or should I do the quick
Oh, you
Connor
want to do
workout?
a quick Connor workout? Yeah. You want to
ready
do it
for it,
as a
Connor?
separate segment? Let's do it as a separate
Yeah,
segment.
people love that.
Connor?
Ready?
Let's take a break. We're going to come back. Bust it out with Connor. Oh, yeah.
It's coming up. We are doing both Periscope and Facebook Live. If you go to Facebook, you can see Facebook Live. Working out with Connor and Jenna. With Jenna and Connor. Our dynamic duo. Don't worry, I'll be filming you guys.
Well, after 6.5 months, I finally figured out how to sign a document
On the
on the computer. But I had to, like, open it up in Google Docs and get DocuSign or something. I don't know what I got.
yeah. Wow, we're up to 334,000 hearts.
Is that a lot?
This week we almost doubled. John and Sherry
How come
and
on
Darren.
Facebook it said that my interaction was down by 5,000 or something?
Today or
I don't know. I looked at it before, but I don't really know what it means, so I could have been looking at the wrong thing. All right, guys, this is going to be fantastic, and then we're going to go get some water, and then I'm going to get another shirt.
I have water.
Cool. And then we're going to go for a walk. Connor, you're not going to love me for this.
Great. So excited.
How are your hip flexors?
I think tight, honestly. I don't know. I try to stretch. Do you want me to cut this one?
Yeah.